I'll congratulate them that they helped us work on the largest pension bill for Minnesota law enforcement in 30 years.
Claiming my time. Governor, what weapons did you carry in war?
Congressman, for 24 years, I carried...
No. What weapons did you carry in war?
What did you carry in uniform?
I tell you what, Governor, you're barking down the wrong tree, okay? You lied to the Minnesotans. You said that you carried weapons in war. That is stolen valor. You know what? My wife served 24 years in the military.
A little bit of respect for the witness.
She's an Iraq war veteran.
You know what I mean?
She was over in the war zone. That's
stolen
valor, and I'm so disgusted with you. And so
respect is earned, and lies always get exposed. That's the message as Congressman Pete Stauber absolutely unloads on Minnesota Governor Tim Walz in a jaw-dropping hearing. Stauber looks Walz straight in the eye and says it flat out. You lied to Minnesotans about carrying weapons in war. Before we break this wide open, make sure you like the video, subscribe to 50 Patriots, grab a seat, get comfortable, and let's dive right back into it.
One from the National Immigration Center.
Without objection to order.
National Immigrant Justice Center and the Alliance for Immigrants.
Without objection to order.
They speak for themselves.
Chair recognizes Mr. Stauber from Minnesota.
Thank you very much. Governor Walz, thanks for being here today. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I ask you to keep your remarks brief. I got a lot to go through. As you know, I spent 23 years as a law enforcement officer in the state of Minnesota. You know that, right? Do you know that, yes or no?
I don't know how many.
It's not a trick question.
I don't know
I'll
how many
answer it
years.
for you. 23 years in Duluth.
Thank you for that.
So, Governor, do you recognize this picture?
I do recognize the picture.
Briefly describe it to us. What is it? What's going on?
These were folks, I believe the people in the picture now are incarcerated in Minnesota.
It's a precinct 3 burning down because of your decision. Was this a peaceful protest? Was this a peaceful protest?
The gentleman standing there?
Was this a peaceful protest?
It was a criminal act that people were prosecuted for.
So it wasn't a peaceful protest, right? As I watched lawlessness devastate Los Angeles this past week, I was reminded of your failure to protect Minnesota from similar riots. Governor Walz, on May 29th of 2020, during your own press conference, you described your response to the riots during the 2020 Summer of Love as, quote, an abject failure. Governor, I couldn't agree with you more.
That's out of context.
And on May 17th, 2025, you were at the law school, graduating Minnesota Law School, talking to the graduates. And we've talked about this. You called the enforcement of illegal immigrants a modern-day Gestapo. You've been asked 3-4 times if you would rescind that, and you won't. Will you rescind it? This is like the 5th time, yes or no?
Congressman, I was talking to law students about due process, and I said
you
you took an oath to due process.
Governor, was there a violent al-Shabaab terrorist who entered our country illegally arrested in Minneapolis last year? Yes, there was. Were there 3 illegal child predators arrested by ICE in St. Paul earlier this year?
I certainly hope so. That's their job.
Yes, there was. Are the officers who arrested the al-Shabaab terrorists or the child predators, are they Nazis or the Gestapo?
The tactics of wearing
masks. They're
not. The tactics of wearing masks.
Why did you tell us that they were the Gestapo? Do you believe that any of the violent illegal immigrants I have mentioned have a right to be in this country?
I don't know what their immigration status was.
They're illegal, violent criminals that the ICE took off the streets of Minneapolis.
You did not say, Congressman, what their status
Governor,
was.
last week, law enforcement officers in the state of Minnesota took 900 pounds of meth off the streets. Do you support that?
We certainly do.
Do you know that ICE assisted in that those arrests and investigations? Do you support the assistance of ICE in that enforcement action? Yes or no?
I can't speak to that because we were not included in the briefing.
You don't know if ICE was part of it? I'm telling you they were.
I don't have that data. I would have to trust you.
Will you apologize to our constituents and law enforcement officers for making them and their families less safe with your incendiary actions.
I'll congratulate them that they helped us work on the largest pension bill for
Governor.
Minnesota law enforcement in
Governor.
in 30 years.
Claiming my time. Governor, what weapons did you carry in war?
Congressman, for 24 years, I carried.
No. What weapons did you carry in war?
What did you carry in
What did?
uniform?
I
You
tell you
know I
what, Governor,
misspoke.
you're
You know I
barking down the
misspoke.
wrong tree, okay?
You know I
You
misspoke.
lied to the Minnesotans. You said that you carried weapons in war.
Mr.
That
Chairman.
is stolen valor. You know what? My wife
Yeah,
served
Mr.
24
Chairman,
years
I
in the
reckon a little bit of
military,
respect for the
and
witness.
she's an Iraq war veteran.
You know what I mean?
She was
This
over in
hectoring is
the
not-
war
not-
zone. That's
On
stolen
a point of-
valor, and I'm so
Point of order,
disgusted with
Mr.
you.
Chairman.
And so are the people that you served
Point
with.
of order.
Point of order.
That's stolen
Halt
valor.
just a minute. State
Stolen
point.
valor.
Mr.
You didn't
Chairman,
carry weapons
that's
in
not questioning
war.
the witness.
Congressman, my 24 years was
That's not
public
Will
for
you
many, many
apologize
years.
for lying?
Objection.
Will you
know I misspoke.
apologize for lying?
Objection.
All right. Hold on. Pause.
That's not questioning a witness. That's not questioning a witness. You think
Point of
so,
order.
huh?
State your point, Mr. Rankinman.
No, you're
State
yelling
your
at
point.
him.
There we go.
You're hectoring. You're hectoring. You're hectoring.
State your
Governor,
point.
you didn't carry
that's
weapons
not-
in war, did you?
State your point.
You didn't
Proceed.
carry
You
weapons
got
in
24
war,
seconds.
did you?
Congressman, you
You
know I
didn't carry
misspoke.
weapons in war, yes or no?
Thank you.
You lied. Governor, what rank did you retire at?
I
What rank
served,
did you retire at?
Congressman, I served my battalion as the command sergeant
That's
major.
not the
and
question
for
I
pay-
asked. What rank did you retire at?
I retired as a master sergeant in
Okay,
EA.
here's your coin that says you're retired at a command sergeant major. That's
Says
your
I wore
challenge
that.
coin.
It
This
says
is-
I wore the rank.
This is that's right. You didn't retire, did you?
I did
Stolen
retire after
valor.
24 years.
Here is a picture of your coin, your challenge
Jesus
coin.
Christ.
I'm disgusted with you. I'm just.
Mr.
Governor,
Chairman, the
you
time
lie
has
when the
expired.
truth-
Congressman,
you lie
I'm-
when the
I'm
truth
Gentleman's
is
time's
better.
expired.
You called half Trump supporters Nazis and fascists, and you know what? That's why the Minnesota Police and Peace Association did not support you in the last election because
Oh, I
you're missing
support
in
them.
action.
Gentleman's time's expired.
On behalf of the folks from the land of rocks and cows, thank you. Now you're back.
Chair recognizes Ms. Tenney from New York.
This hearing starts tense and escalates fast. Pete Stauber wastes no time reminding Tim Walz, who he's dealing with, a former Minnesota law enforcement officer with 23 years on the job. Stauber immediately presses Walz on the chaos that unfolded during the 2020 riots, forcing him to admit the truth. The so-called peaceful protests were criminal acts that left Minnesota burning. Stauber then delivers a brutal reminder. Walz himself once called his handling of those riots an abject failure. Stauber agrees and says Minnesotans paid the price while Walz stood by. But things go nuclear when Stauber pivots to immigration enforcement. He confronts Walz over his comments comparing IC agents to the Gestapo. Stauber lists real cases: terrorists arrested, child predators taken off the streets, and demands to know whether those officers are Nazis. Walz can't give a straight answer. Then comes a moment that stops the room cold. Stauber asks Walz a simple question: what weapons did you carry in war? Walz dodges. Stauber doesn't let up. He accuses Walz of lying to people of Minnesota, of claiming combat service that never happened. Stauber calls it exactly what it is: stolen valor. The room erupts. Objections fly. The chair struggles to restore order. Stauber presses harder, exposing contradictions in Walz's claimed rank at retirement, even holding up a challenge coin as evidence. He says Minnesotans, law enforcement, and veterans are disgusted by the deception. Stauber ends by reminding everyone why police organizations refuse to support Walz. Because words matter, lies matter, and dishonoring service is unforgivable. This wasn't just a hearing. It was an indictment. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Like the video. Subscribe to 50 Patriots. Share this with friends who follow political hearings. And see you in the next one.